Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but today we're back with another My Hero Ultra Rumble guide. Today, Monoma finally came out. We're about to copy all the quirk skills. Okay, first things first. While playing as Monoma, we have his Alpha, which is just a copied Kendo quirk for shockwaves being sent through the air. His Beta, he has a dash. For his Gamma, he gets a hardening quirk, which will essentially block any one hit from a character and steal their quirks. For his special action, if he's hit a character like I've hit Bakugo before, he can use their quirk skills. So since he has this ability and he can copy anybody's quirk skills, or people who hit him, like if you're using the Gamma, I was wondering if you could special action, and if you don't have an Alpha, if you hit somebody else afterwards, you now get their quirk. Well, see, after this, it now says I have Midoriya's, but I still have the Alpha quirk until I use the special action and use the special action again, which now allows me to use his quirk. So if you're in the middle of this and still copy a quirk, you'd still be using his normal ones, but I think that's because it needs to reload the data that you've gotten a new quirk skill. So it's not magically just going to switch on you. Also, another thing we're going to check here is I'm going to use a special action and now use Deku's quirk to shoot Ochako, and as we see, it doesn't swap. So if you need to actually just keep someone's specific Alpha, you just make sure that you don't use the actual normal quirk skill Alpha or quirk skill Beta, because then you can end up with entirely different quirks from the ones that you wanted to steal. Okay, the next thing I kind of want to talk about is, while it can cost a lot, if you're playing as Monoma, let's say you get a dash, you get another dash, you use all of them, you can use your special action. You can either use the stuff there or not use it, but switching back, even though it spends your special action bar, will give you back cooldowns, and this isn't even with the quick cooldown. It comes back really quickly anyway. So if you want to quickly use Monoma's base kit, if you like doing that, and then want to switch to somebody else's stuff, even use all of the stuff there and then switch back. Switching to either one, even though it spends the special action gauge, will refill either or moveset. So if you really had a perfect moveset for Monoma of copied quirks and you really didn't want it to change, but you really wanted to use those quirk skills to their highest effectiveness, or you really need a high damage output combo to end the fight quicker so that you don't have to swap out whatever quirks he stole with another one, you could realistically use a bunch of the stronger quirks that you had, switch out, switch back in, and continue to use them. All the while, if you finish the fight faster, you have time for your special action to go back up, which, if you've noticed, still goes pretty quickly while out of combat, or in combat for that matter. So it should be a pretty good strategy for you to be able to quickly swap and get back combos. Basically what I'm saying is this guy should probably absolutely never be out of attacks that he can use. And that's actually kind of crazy. Haven't seen this since Movement Toga. I would also like to add that the ability to reset cooldowns with the action skill button, or even use the quirks in between, should allow him to have absolutely crazy mobility, especially depending on what you have in the extra quirk skill reserve buttons. So this guy should have an optimal escape method. Even if he doesn't even have a single copy of quirk, he should just have the ability to refresh his own normal abilities for essentially insane movement at the cost of the special action bar, but this comes back fast enough for this to say that this is still pretty good. Okay, for this next thing I want to go over for Monoma is how his quirk skill copying works. It doesn't work like the normal way that everybody else's works, or at least how Toga's works anyway, where it copies off of the character. So like, as you see, every single character here has their level 9s for certain skills, but let's say like Midoriya. Here, it's level 1, even if I went and reset to Bakugo, who should have level 9. This is not a level 9 blast. Even if I went back to Midoriya, that's still not a level 9 blast. But if I went through all the trouble of getting their quirk skills and I want to use them the most effectively, if I level up the stuff, as in his normal abilities with cards, the quirk skill that I have will match accordingly. So now these are level 9 Midoriya blasts and level 2 Ochako beta and still a level 1 Bakugo thing. But if I made that a level 9, this would automatically be a higher strength move by being at max potential. So this is entirely based off of Monoma himself's quirk skill levels. So fresh off the bat, if like let's say Monoma got taken out in the fight before and he came back, even if he copied like some of the best quirk skills, they're all going to be level 1 variants unless you can get him the cards he wants. And that also should dictate whose like quirk skills you would want, because you might think, oh, this character has a pretty good beta or something like that for like an Ochako or a Midoriya, and you're like, oh, I want that quirk skill specifically. If their quirk skill is not good until a certain level, you have to keep that in mind for the amount of cards that you have to actually upgrade the skill, instead of specifically what the character would probably already have on them, like you would if you were used to playing Toga. So you just got to keep all that type of stuff in mind when playing him. I also kind of wanted to mention that his quirk skill Gamma is the easiest and hardest thing to switch out depending on how you look at it. You use it, you're allowed to get one hit from a person, but they physically have to hit you. You can't do it and then hit them because that'll automatically cancel the move. So to switch it from somebody else, you would actually have to get them to attack you. Even alphas work, as you can see, but you just need to get hit with something. So if it's like an alpha, that's pretty easy. Depending on the character's range, they might not see you that well to tell that you're metal or not, so they might just do it. I think specifically whenever you get hit in the Gamma, you're not gonna take damage, but this is probably out of all of his abilities, like you could accidentally have Ochako's thing. I think this is really good, especially if you've gotten it to level 9, but accidentally just quickly go use the beta, bam, you have Bakugo's beta, and now it's swapped to an entirely different quirk skill. Like, that's pretty easy to do, but I don't think it's easy to accidentally mess up this parry, essentially, and switch abilities. So maybe this one is the most, like, consistently you should know what Gamma you're going to have whenever you get into a fight, and it's unlikely to change in that fight, or quick snap judgments. So that also means you should probably pick a nice Gamma that has good use for you, because you're likely to have it however long you actually need to keep it for. Alright, since this character has a lot of extra things that he can do, I just want to quickly check out some things, like if using Ida's speed Gamma, can I actually just like use it, swap back, and not suffer the negative consequences? I can. This means I can literally use this to run away or run towards a team at supersonic speeds with moves like this. Do all this work, get out of the fight, and then suffer absolutely none of the drawbacks of having Ida's speed quirk. Okay, so this means that any effect will be canceled, even if it's like a positive one. I think I'm safe to say that even a positive quirk skill, something, I'm trying to figure out something that would count, but anything that might give a character maybe like super armor or something like that persists afterwards, if you're using this special action, any drawbacks or any advantages should just instantly cleanse themselves when he swaps over. So certain high value attacks or something like that you might need to like quickly use should be able to quickly swap them to use them again, which is insanely powerful. essentially being able to, whenever you want, have like insane speed to track down opponents, especially since Gamma's like one of the hardest ones to swap, is an insane thing to have on this character, but he's able to do all of this with a bunch of different techniques, and I think this is what makes him so deadly. Okay, very quickly, this moveset is something that my brain just came up with, and this is absolutely terrifying if this works, so let's just quickly see. So you now have Mirio's ability to teleport through buildings. Then you can quickly go hit somebody if you need to, get Hawk's flight whenever you really want to, and then to finish this off, if all else fails, you can literally go out, stop, and then go also and have Mirio's sweet perk. With this one and this amount of mobility, they are never catching this guy. I am terrified of what I just made. And you can still use the speed in between. This is crazy. I absolutely love this character. This is insane. I'm also just gonna quickly, while we're here, check that if the engine exhaust starts, just to see. Yeah, okay, so if you actually allow the engine to exhaust, you will have the drawback, but if you never let the engine exhaust and always cut it off a second before, you're entirely fine. This might be my new favorite character in the entire game. This is crazy. Okay, so this is another moveset I came up with. I was going to use like Danky's Dash, but then I just realized that's Danky's Gamma, so that'll overlap with the Gamma we already have from All for One. So you get to do this, then you also get to do the full powered punch from the other guy, and then if you need to escape to a higher location to set up this move again to do it properly, you also get to do that from what do you call it? Ida's moveset. This is insane, and you can always just reset it with the extra move. So if you kind of get like 3 people in this, I could just see you kind of juggling them into this. I'm shocked. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over all of his quirk skill sizes, and we're just going to show them at level 1, 4, and 9 so that you can see the alpha, beta, and gamma and how much you should invest into them. This doesn't equate for like how much you should invest in other characters' quirk skills that you've stolen and have copied on your other thing. You're gonna have to keep track of that depending on the character, because there's so many scenarios that there's no way I could fit that all into one guide for what's optimal, so you're just going to need to figure that one out for yourself. But I'm going to show all of Monoma's so you can at least get an idea that if you were only going to use base Monoma's kit, what would you want to upgrade?
I'll take that. Finders keepers. Just as I thought. I'll show you. Looks good to me. Take this. Come closer! I'll show you! You're mine now! I see right through. Get up on.
There is one ability that I'm having trouble showcasing because I don't have anybody to demonstrate it with in the training lab, so I'm going to need to do it in game. The quirk is named Scanners. Hold to dash towards an ally enemy and copy all their quirk skills. So let's see if we can get some footage in a real match.
I'll try that on for size.
You think you got
I'll
me?
show you. Not bad. Oh, love it. Like this. No good. I'll always be here for you.
I'll use that myself.
I'll always be here for you.
I got skills, huh?
Take this. Take it. Like this.
This one is tricky.
An enemy attack. Annoying. I see trash. Should I burn it?
Is this